It almost did.
Yeah, it almost did.
All
Almost.
right. All right, guys. Here we are today. This will be the first live group coming together, and we're going to
Yes, sir.
Brandon Robinson
Davion Robinson.
and another Robinson,
Davion Robinson.
Davion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you know you got double OG right here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Checking me out. All right, these young brothers are going to take over the show and just do some communicating with you. Why we got our mask on, why we believe we should do what we do, why we believe God the way we believe God, and all of that is what's in our circle. Take it away, guys.
So you can go ahead on. I mean, we can just go ahead and free-mindedly talk
Yeah,
about certain
open it up,
things. You
because
know what
y'all
I'm
know
saying?
you on the
So,
camera.
we got the floor right now. You
Yeah.
know, so we go
Yeah.
ahead and I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but if you can, it's because of the mask situation. So
Just keep that mic up to your face. They'll be able to hear everything you
Yeah.
say.
So what we gonna talk about? How during the pandemic?
Actually,
Mhm.
yeah, actually, we can go ahead and discuss about how the pandemic is affecting us. You know what I'm saying? As black individuals. You know what I'm saying? Besides what's actually going on in the news. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about how we actually, not suffering but pushing through the pandemic crisis. You understand? So we actually. We hoping and praying for the best outcome, but in my personal opinion, when it comes down to, getting rid of the coronavirus or the COVID-19, my personal opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I am not a strong believer in the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? And it has a lot to do with the timing that it got passed through the CDC and actually got to individuals. You know what I'm saying?
But, I mean, that's been an ongoing issue for a while. You've had, two sides to that coin. It's always been, the problem is with the vaccine, there's always been the source in the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Some type of dead cell, and they always warn you that you're going to get sick. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're essentially making you sick temporarily is what they call it.
I mean,
but you never know how anybody's going to react to anything.
So how do you? I mean, I know how I feel about it. Like I'm expressing how I feel about it. But how do you feel about taking 2 doses? You understand? Like you have to take it in between, a certain time period apart. You got to take the first dosage, and then the next dosage of the vaccine you take 3 weeks or 4 weeks after, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And in my personal opinion, it doesn't sit right with me. You understand? So, and it only took from my readings, it only took between 8 to 10 months for it to actually pass to get to us. You understand? And that's record breaking from the usual 15 to 20 year average.
And we got to remember, we don't want to be like we oppose so much for the vaccine. It's just that we know that the virus is going to do what it's going to do. We need something to fight the virus a little better than what it's been. But what we really need to know is that the people that's making the virus are really sure about what the antidote for this is and what it's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we can look back at history and see that a lot of times we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And now they're saying that it's affecting more of us than anybody else. I just don't want to be another guinea pig.
Yeah.
I would like to take the
Yeah.
shot after I get some more information
Yep.
as to the after effects or the how long is it going to last?
Yep.
Or will we
Yep.
have to go back
Yep.
into that?
Yep.
That's the kind of the questions we are asking.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Did we even get any answers as to the death toll? You know, how many people actually died from the actual coronavirus? How much of it was padded? How many people actually died? Like, we still haven't, and we're asking them to be honest about how many people might die from the actual vaccine. Is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, we probably would never know exactly if that individual died from those COVID circumstances. You understand? We would actually not know that. I mean, let's
well,
be
we
honest.
don't know it yet.
I mean, but
We don't know it yet because they keep on saying it's like that lady whose house they raided on the news that was talking about that she was putting it out there that there were more COVID deaths than the people were actually and the FBI went and they raided her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly. And before we get rated, let me go ahead and say that we're not against the vaccine. We're pro-vaccine. But at the end of the day, we're curious and we're nervous. You understand? Because the facts is facts. When it comes down to it, man, it's facts is fucking facts, and the facts tells me, and my circle, you know what I'm saying, that I try to keep safe, that we need more evidence to justify individuals taking this double dose vaccine, so because at the end of the day it's a virus that's being injected into you. Now, the number one question, besides the question I already discussed, is that once we take the second dose, how long do we have to take those 2 doses every year? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the question that comes up. And then another question, though, I read today, which is December 13th, right? Sunday, December 13th. I read this morning that the vaccination haven't even been tested on pregnant women. So
and people with high allergic reactions to people that carry the EpiPen.
You're going into a whole nother scientific question at that point, because then you have the COVID babies. Not babies that were born during the COVID time. Babies that were born to women that had COVID.
That's true.
The baby not gonna stop just because you got COVID.
Well, that might be the same way when it was when they had the HIV. The woman could have it and the kid not. So,
That's true.
It might be something.
Still get the vaccine.
Yeah, it might be something going on with that. But when we finally agree to take the shot, it's going to be because they've proven without a shadow of a doubt about the effects, about the EpiPen episodes with people that can't take it. So people that can't take it, what do we do for them?
But that's the question. Is 9 to 10 months enough to
Come up
enough
with
human
vaccine.
trials?
Right.
Yeah, is that enough
Right.
to secure us in safety? You understand? In my opinion, no. It's not. It's not enough, especially if it haven't been tested on pregnant women. You understand? And yes, we have had COVID babies that has been birthed by women that contracted COVID.
Yep, and the women so far that I know of one incident where the mother passed, the baby lived, but the mother passed.
And
And they're saying
viruses are, once you got them, they go dormant on your spine.
Yes,
like,
it's
that's
fickle.
that's just how the viruses work. And I mean, that's like the chicken pox. It becomes shingles if you don't get it when you're little. It mutates. So is this baby a carrier, and then is the vaccine necessary because the baby is a carrier? It's not necessarily affected by the virus, but it can affect you with the virus.
The baby.
I mean, just it's not even the baby's fault. Don't even, like, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like, it's like there are people that get COVID that have no response to it. There are people who get COVID and they have to go to the hospital.
Well, I'm one of them people that had it, and I had the runny nose. I took Tylenol for the headache, and I kept taking my vitamins on a daily basis. And I don't use multiple vitamins. I go in and get the right thing. And that's what I was taking by the grace of God, that I believe through prayer and calling on Him for guidance is why when it did get on me, it was just a minor glitch. It slowed me down, but it didn't slow me down because 3 days after I had it, I did a 30-some a whole month bike challenge.
Right.
So it don't have an effect on everybody
Right.
the same way. Some
Right.
people it takes them on, and some people it makes them sick and they recover, and then other people it just give you a temperature.
See,
headache.
so those are the numbers that I want.
Yeah.
I want the
Yeah.
numbers
Yeah.
of the people who were affected. I want to know what they have in common that made it so severe for them. Was it a smoking habit? Was it a drinking habit? Did they eat the same type of
So
food?
what you're saying
Or
is
They,
that we're
well, it
getting-
might have been
that we're giving-
diabetes.
is that we're giving, as far as facts wise, we're giving more of the death tolls
Yeah,
to
the
COVID
scare factor. We're
than
getting
the
the scare
survivors that
factor
actually
than- yeah.
contracted. You understand? And in my opinion on that, I think it's more people that actually contracted it and got over it with with a pat on the back than the death toll. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Dee's trying to say is that we need to see more of the people that contracted it and actually got over it in
In a matter of 10 to 14 days.
Exactly, and it will actually clear up some of the numbers that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? As far as people that's dying, there's people actually getting over, just a simple flu, treating it just
Well,
like.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not something that you really want. Whether the symptoms were minor or great, the mental stress that it puts on you is just tremendous because as being healthy as I am, when they told me that I had it, I'm doubting what did I do?
Yep.
What was wrong with me
Yep.
that I caught it?
Yep.
You know?
And the
But-
and the last thing, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
The last thing anybody want is to contract any virus. You understand? Especially one that really don't have a
Right,
vaccine
you don't
for.
really want
You
this.
understand? So the last thing
You don't
anybody,
really
and
want
I
it.
contracted it. You know what I'm saying? Me and contracted it, and my whole family actually contracted it actually, and we got over it. We got over it. Pretty well together. We quarantined for about 16 days roughly. You know what I'm saying, to make sure everything was good, and the most I suffered in contracting the COVID was the first day I had a headache. It was a massive headache. I ended up taking ibuprofen. That went away. I had diarrhea for the next 3 days. After that, the fifth day, in between the fourth and fifth day, I lost my sense of taste and smell, which I never did. So at that moment, I knew. The fifth to sixth day, at that moment, I knew. It took me to the 10th day to actually go to see, get tested and see, what was up with my body. And that's when they revealed that I was actually positive for COVID-19.
But see, there's the root though. It took you 10 days to even get,
Yes.
to test it. And during those 10 days, you're still you're a contagion.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So I mean,
You're right.
That's another paranoia. So you start to think about who all did you,
Exactly.
go around and communicate with.
Well, he knew the whole family, so because that's who's in the house with him. That wasn't so much we had to worry about. It was now we gotta stay away. How we stay away from each other, and we in the same
Why
house.
is it still sticking around? You know what I'm saying? Like a
Right.
whole household full of people get it.
And then some of
it's
them
around
don't.
the holidays.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
around the
yes,
holidays.
yes.
So
Very
it's like
scary.
everybody had plans. Come to my house. Oh, are we
Yeah.
gonna change our plans?
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah,
And I
Thanksgiving
mean,
was not the
you
same
know,
this year.
so-
And it wasn't, and it shouldn't have
Thanksgiving
been.
was not the
It
same this
shouldn't
year.
have been.
You
It
know?
shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. If you wanted to go see your parents and something, you should have set up some kind of way where you could do a video chat
Yep.
or something like that, because I'm telling you, people don't want to get this. I don't care how heavy or how light it is, because it comes with some after effects. I've never
It
had
does.
problems with my feet, and my left foot, my big toe and my little toe, then started kind of trying to act like they want to go to sleep when I'm walking.
See, stuff like that.
You
that I
know,
wanna
and
know,
it's stuff
you
like
know?
that we need to know some of the after effects and all that. And people keep telling me, man, there's 100 things they keep coming up with. 100?
Man,
Come
that is-
on. This vaccine that they just made is going to deal with all of that. We don't want to be fooled, and we don't want nobody to think we don't want you to take the shot. Like I said, when it come my turn to take the shot, and I'm going to choose when my turn is, when it come my time to take them shots, I'm going to get my shot. And I hate shots. I don't take shots by the grace of God. I'm not on medication by the grace of God. But when this shot come around, since I've had COVID, I'm gonna go get this and treat it like I would if I first had any other symptoms.
As you
or
can
something.
see, we got masks on because we're continuing to trying to promote the safety and the severity of the condition and the situation that's going on.
Do
with
the
the
right
pandemic.
thing.
But we're gonna keep it moving because we've been going on for a little minute. We're gonna go into the police brutality. How that police brutality affected not only every individual, obviously, but mainly affected the black community. Do you agree, Dick?
Yeah.
Bruh, I can't even speak on that because like it brings up an emotion in me that's dark. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like okay, it's just dirt. You know, it's just dirt. Because what is your response to it? As even if you consider yourself a fighter, a warrior, or whatever, you know, if you've experienced military or some type of combat or anything that's traumatic like gunshots or anything that you survived that gives you experience with a weapon or a gun that's being around you and it's being fired. In that situation, you know there's a helplessness if you don't have, you know. So to see the police have somebody helpless and then
Yes.
you could potentially
Yes,
help
helpless.
them, and you're not sure if they're in the wrong, but you never know now. You
But
have so many
you're right.
bad apples.
You're right, because you never know whether or not that individual is getting justice. But
Exactly.
there's a way to tell when an individual is being unjustly abused,
Mhm.
because they say if your kid come to school with some webs or some marks on their legs and whatnot,
Mhm.
the first thing they're going to do is call for some help.
Mhm.
See, we as citizens should be able to, if we see the police actually slowly killing somebody, we as people, as citizens, should be able to step in and stop that. Now they got this thing called citizens arrest. I don't know if we could use that against the police, but I don't think that I would be able to stand around and watch them with their knee on somebody's neck. And I know they finna kill him.
I mean, to be right nowadays is to risk your life.
That's
It's
what
to
that's
be
what
right
it's
is to
but
risk
see,
your life.
that's what it's all about.
It's not even being right. You know,
That's
at
what
one
it's all
point in
about.
time, yeah, the George Floyd, that's his name, right? George Floyd, you know, scared the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this is actually what it's come to. You understand? So the protest and everything was worth it. But what actually got me was the Breonna Taylor situation. When they came inside her home,
And she was the second or the third person that they had did that.
man, it's like
Shot through the window with one woman.
It's like, where are you safe? At
we
that
always-
point, you know, as a black man at one point, I was actually scared to go outside, man. I was scared to go outside because I don't know what to expect with the movement. It's a powerful movement, but I don't know what to expect from the movement actually being in this color. You understand?
I feel it's a reminder. If you really want to know what I feel like it's a reminder. It feels like when they were spraying us with dogs. And
It's the same
they were
thing.
blowing up
But-
houses. They were snatching people
It's
out of their
the
homes.
exact
It's the-
same
but
thing.
now
You're right.
it's the boys in
You're
blue.
right.
They don't have to
You're
wear
right.
a white fucking cloak.
You're right.
We shouldn't have to be reminded
right.
by violence.
Well, that's the only
I
way
don't
that
think we
they
should be-
can remind themselves that
Oh,
they're
yeah.
in control is to do stuff like that. But see, we as a people, if we all just came together, see, this is why the police got tanks, they got battering rams, they
Why?
got robots.
Why?
Where they will send a robot like they did that brother that shot up them cops. They didn't lose another cop after that. They sent a robot to that place, dropped the bomb package like UPS, and left the door, and then they blew the whole place up.
Yeah, I heard
You
about
see,
that situation
that's
too.
not no hero.
Actually read
You
about
know,
it.
don't no hero do no stuff like that.
Wasn't he a former sniper?
Yeah, he
Yep.
was good. He was a soldier.
Yep.
And he was tired of police brutality.
Yep.
And he decided to go and shoot some police.
Yep, that guy was a black guy too. The other
Yeah,
guy
he
that
was
did
a
it
black guy.
It was in Vegas, I think.
See, we don't talk about heroes
He was
like
black.
that. And honestly,
you gotta be careful because like you're talking you're influencing people with a lot of availability to guns, you know, because he's a hero when he was doing, you know.
well, I guess those people that
if
went
we
to
take some vigilante, we're basically going to the purge. I mean, if we go vigilante, we might as well do.
well, ain't
one
nobody
day
going.
a year
Look, they done
where
already
we
went
just-
vigilante. They went in and picked up that governor from Michigan and was gonna kill her. How
Oh,
come
yeah.
they ain't on them like they would be on us if we did it?
We have to keep the high ground. If we're the kings and queens that we want to be,
Mhm.
we have to be better.
Well, we are, and we've proven that. How long we gotta prove we better when ain't no more of us?
It's when we can admit, you know, to certain things as black men, but a lot of our black community doesn't fall into the category of helping each other, and that's our biggest problem. You understand? Because
Not supporting each
yes,
other.
yes, we're not supporting one another. We rather I mean, you know, no offense to all the major companies out there, but we rather support something else instead of supporting the small black business. You understand what I'm saying? That got so much potential and so much future because that person's vision on what they want to change in a community. We lack that. You understand? We lack the ability to uplift each other all the time. And that's why 2020 was so important that it happened this way, because it enlightened us on how we need to change, and the fact as a black group, as a black community, to uplift each other. You understand what I'm saying? We got other countries that full of people with melanin and full of people with color that's all for one another, that live in villages with one another for years. But we're
different.
it's not that we're
We
different.
different.
We are.
We-
It's just that some of us been brainwashed. That's what
a whole
it is.
lot of us have been brainwashed, but we different. We different in a way like this. All this stuff that has happened to us, and we still don't want to revoke. We have a few of them that want to throw a brick through a window, set something on fire, run in there and grab some stuff. But for the most part, we out there protesting for some change, not so I can go steal me a couple of pair of Nikes or whatever, or Air Jordans or whatever. It's bigger than that, and that's what we need to look at.
Yep.
And keep on protesting.
Yep.
I had one podcast come out that was talking about how about we take everybody out of the street? No more protesting like that. How about we protest by not spending so much of our hard-earned money on all the stuff that they promote all the time?
It would never happen.
How about we take some of them good old holidays and slash some of them off? We need to start hitting these people in the pocket, because that's the only place they not gonna like it.
Well,
Anywhere else, they ain't playing.
protests are meant to send messages to the elite. You understand? That's what protests are for. To send messages to the elite, because protests can get out of hand and cost money. So the
Yeah.
people that's in charge, that control some of these things and
Yeah.
some of the businesses that's sponsored and franchised by some of these elite people, you know, they're looking at it. Now they're looking, you know, okay, what's going on? Why are they protesting? So that's why protesting is very vital.
It's vital.
And it was vital,
It's vital.
with the George Floyd. And it was vital
Yeah.
with the Breonna Taylor. And it
Yeah.
was vital
Yeah.
with the BLM whole movement.
Yeah. But now that we got that out there, how about we stop being out there being the people that get ate up by the dogs, hit in the head by the police sticks, shot with rubber bullets. We being gassed out there.
Mhm.
How about we show them that they really need to defund the police in every state in the union and take some of that money and put it back into the community, get some help out there so that when somebody do call 911, we ain't got no cowboy coming to answer a call for some help,
but
and
is
he come out
defunding-
there and shoot somebody.
Is defunding the police solving the problem?
It can help some other problems that we have in the community. If we take, they getting $150,000 for something and they go buy a tank, yeah, defund.
But defund
I
how?
agree. I agree.
You gotta realize, where is this mentality for this new police force coming from? Where is this surplus of bodies coming from? It's coming from war. They came from war. What is somebody who's been training for the military? They've been overseas, 2 tours, they come back, and
see, there's-
what kind of
there's-
job do they?
Well, the
usually
problem
There's
is
no
not
word
the
that I
problem
mentioned
is not
before.
where they've been and what they did. The problem is them letting them go where they've been, did what they did, and then bring them back here and put them on us.
Brainwash.
Come on, they don't
Brainwash.
get no job as no police officer without some type of
Evaluation.
education and evaluation, all that
I mean,
stuff.
they send them through that. We send them through that all the time. They send them to training on paid leave. We get mad because they send them to training on paid leave about the.
It
and
ain't
then they
working.
Come back and it's
It
not
ain't working.
It's-
So let's
yeah,
stop
so
spending
what
that
then?
money on that.
We've
'Cause
been
if they
protesting
had,
for 100 years. Then
and don't stop. 2 more
You said
hundred.
100?
if
It was been
necessary.
over 400 that we've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
fighting
listen.
for a
Well,
voice.
when voting and all of that stuff started, that's when the real protesting
Right.
started. But it started back in the early 1900s when some of the black people back then was protesting. So protesting ain't nothing new.
No.
We need to do it a different way, because if we did it a different way, the people that's looting, the people that's making the protests look dumb and bad,
The looters are being supplied by the
we
elite.
we can take that out of the equation.
I mean, let's be honest.
We don't have to get smoked out by bombs. We don't have to get shot with rubber bullets. We ain't got to get bit by dogs. Let's hit them in the pocket. And listen, if we take some of them holidays, I'm going to keep harping on them holidays. If we can't take some of them holidays and cut them off, we cut billions and billions and billions of dollars out of some of the rich pocket who don't give us none of it back no way.
I hear you, but then I start to see protesters being run over by cars. Then I start to see.
That's why they don't
then I
need to
see
be out
what's
there.
the kid name that killed the 2? Where he killed
Yeah,
2 protesters
up in
that
Wisconsin.
wanted to go.
The young guy.
You know, they didn't have guns, but they ran up on somebody who did, and you that's the result. That is
Well, the result wouldn't have been no results if, number one, he wasn't out there.
If
But
they-
he was. But he
Actually,
was.
the one guy. I'm lying. There was one guy who ran up on the guy with the gun. And I
And he
think it was
shot
the
him.
first individual. He got
And he
shot in the
shot him.
face. He died. He was the first fatality.
Talking about the guy in
It
Atlanta?
was actually a white
No,
guy.
in Wisconsin. This was in Wisconsin.
He was a
I can't think of his
white
name.
kid.
Ritter House or something like that.
Ugh.
Rittenhouse.
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 This is Google.
Yeah, that's Rittenhouse did that. But see, the thing that's wrong with this is you got so many people that's privileged and think they can do that kind of stuff. He had no business out there with that gun talking about helping the police. See, and that's another reason we need to really be down on changing the police structure, because we can change the justice system if we want to. But if we don't change the police department, the justice system, and it's just going to be just as many of us being arrested and shot as anything else. We got to change the system, because the system been broke for 400 years.
Yeah.
When we first was able to vote, they called us, I think it's 1/3. I think it's 1/3. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on this. But one of us was only 1/3 of a vote, or something, 1/4 or something, where it would take 5 of us to make one vote.
Let's be real. They've done long enough they've done long math with the bodies of black people, and they've still made it just about that count. You know, they've locked up so many black people that they've just about made it a 1/3 vote, even if, you know, we used all our
But now
votes.
they trying to take the whole thing. And we can't let them do that. And I'm hoping that the people in Georgia go out and vote, man. Go out and vote.
It was Kyle Rittenhouse.
Get that stuff.
This is the one that was. in
Get
my-
that stuff where them 2 senators get them seats.
But okay, here's what I'm saying. We call people who blow things up terrorists, right? So the Dallas police that bombed the sniper, like, was that overkill?
Yeah, that was overkill. Come on. That was totally kill him. He done.
But the justice system doesn't think so.
Well, that's another reason why we need to change the justice system. That's just the reason why. Because, and all them cops
That's
that's
sad.
killed them
That's
people,
sad. I can't
the
help but
justice system feel like they didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing wrong. They cops, they can't do no wrong. They are heroes. Man, if we don't change the justice system, the war will have to happen because these people that call themselves police officers are gearing up for a war.
But me and you we're kind of like the oddities. We've actually, you know, tried to do something for the country, you know. So there's even the people who even volunteer are small in number. So, you know, you have those when some people have a soldier mentality, they can't click that off. So if we were to get a martial law situation, what would that look like to you?
That would look like none of them people that call themselves white supremacists, none of them would be over here where we are facing the army. They would all be over there, just like they're trying to be over there with the police and help the police. They would be over there with the army trying to help them because a whole bunch of them has come out of the army. That's where the cuckoo come from.
But that's still not good. Once you're in uniform, that's like, I mean, you're not gonna cross. They're not gonna let nobody else out of uniform cross that boundary. You really think?
Yeah, you don't.
You think? I don't think.
Look,
you
if I'm
control
in the
that.
army and I know that you was in, as a civilian now, you was in the 25th Infantry Brigade, I don't care who you are. You get respect from me, another soldier, and yeah, if they need some help and a bunch of 100,000 white folks go to them armed to the teeth and we whooping them, and they'll be like, y'all need some help? They not gonna come help us. They gonna go help the army. But I don't think the army is gonna do that. I think when they try to get this martial law thing going on, I think they're gonna squash that too, just like they squashed it in the court. For the simple reason, if it's followers of the Republican Party that want to start this, that's who the enemy is.
See, that's
That's the enemy of the
I
state.
think that's a distraction. Republican, Democratic, radical, all of those are words. That's another white privilege that, like, I think should be just abolished. Like,
They are
the
words.
wordplay, just add any new word. Like, supercalifragilistic is actually a word. Like,
But you didn't finish it. It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
my point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the fuck is that? It's like, what is that? Seriously. That's a word. And there's some words that they'll bleep out like nigga or something like that. And they'll put bitch and hoe. They'll let that go through. Or bastard. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like that privilege of word. The power to control words.
That's
To
why I
that
say we-
degree, when we
gotta go back to
able
God and
to
His
shatter
word.
that type of structure, when we're able to shape that structure, that's when we're gonna have some type of power. That's when we have authority with power.
I think when we make up our minds what we as a people want, and we take that and we use that as the drive to get the machine started, we can change everything over here in America, because from the first time that change ever happened, it was because we was here. They didn't know what to do with all this land. And then change came when they started bringing us over here. Everywhere we go, or everywhere they took us, we changed things. And the only problem with that is we don't believe we can make no changes. We got black people blacker than me that don't like me.
The only thing at one point that can keep up with us over time eventually was a cotton rig. And that eventually that couldn't keep up with us because we became much more than just cotton pickers, you know?
We were always more than cotton pickers.
Well, we
talk
were.
about
We
the
were.
cotton gin.
We
Why
were.
would the master
They didn't
make
think about us
something
like that,
to
though.
make it easier? They didn't make none of that, man. The
We
workers
made that.
thought
The
about
workers
how to do
made
that.
that.
Stuff. That's a mechanical in the job
Absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely.
You know, so
And we don't get no credit for none of that.
Never gonna get
None
credit
of
for
that. They talking about 40 mules, 40 acres and a mule. Look, give me a combine and 100 acres and leave me alone.
And a fleet of cars.
Oh man,
Fuck the mule.
all of that'll come because the combine is 300,000-400,000, maybe $500,000.
True.
I'm good with the acre and the combine. I don't need the mule. Give me a combine. I'm good
Yeah,
with
I
that
can't
too.
do no
That
mule
acre-
now. All that's
Oh,
gotta
man.
change.
Yeah, the mule.
Oh,
That's
gotta
old
change.
school. I need me a whole
But
combine.
see, a lot of black people, a lot of black individuals, especially a lot of black men, need to come together and come with a plan like we do. You
That's
understand?
right.
That's
right.
That's the
Instead of
problem
hate.
in our community, just like I discussed before.
Instead of hate.
You understand? Instead of bringing each other down, everybody come with a plan. You understand? And only way it's going to change from the view of us being who we've been viewed as for so many years. Only way that's going to change is the voice and the proactive way of doing it. You understand? Because at the end of the day, you can't just say it or talk about it. You have to be
You gotta
proactive.
do it.
You have to be proactive, and sometimes it does not take
done.
money. Let me tell you that right now. It does not take money. You understand? The Million Man March happened without money, if I'm not mistaken. You understand?
It gathered a whole lot of money.
It was ability. Yes, it did
It
gather a lot of
took in a
money,
whole lot
but
of money.
that wasn't its purpose.
It followed an emotional shockwave, though. You know, if you take advantage of emotional shockwaves, like the George Floyd, it created such an emotional shockwave that Black Lives Matter refurbished. But you know, that goes back to that because it had died down. You have two sections of Black Lives Matters now. It's almost as if like the Black Panther Party, like you had two. Once they divide, they conquer. The Black Lives Matter movement is almost silenced at this point. You know, you have the every now and again argument, but the wordplay again. They got Blue Lives Matter. It's the same BLM. So if you put hashtag BLM, nobody knows what you mean. You know what I'm saying? And then we still have black people, melanin people that are not even considered people still on this planet. They're considered vegetation, plant life. You know, that's in Australia. They got a whole black people that are considered plant life. They are the original people on Australia, and they're not even considered people of Australia.
Yeah. Same about
That's
the
crazy.
people here in America. The indigenous people don't have nothing. And they even have become complacent and rich and privileged. And they ain't thinking about other natives. We can't do that, black family. We gotta start thinking more about each other. Because when the deal go down, it ain't gonna make no difference who you know or what you know. If you got melanin in your back pocket, well, somebody gonna be trying to get it out.
I call myself a skilled thief. That's what it's in my blood.
Like
to
Robin Hood.
We
it's
on-
not even it's in my blood to take your skill. If you show me something long enough, whether it's to
40 minutes, so I'm
be
finna-
a
I'm
security
finna block this
officer,
one and
whether
post it.
like if you were to take me on a ride
Peace
along
out.
or a